Good morning, good morning, good morning, Savannah, Georgia. This is the Vulnerable Community brought to you by E. Philip Randolph Institute. We're here this morning. We have, for our guest, we have a young man that's running for the position of Sheriff of Chatham County. His name is Kevin Burns. We have with us our co-host, Ms. Octavia Sanders. Uh, we want all y'all to take a chance and introduce yourselves and let everybody know who you are. Go ahead, Natavia, go first.
Okay. Just hello, it's Natavia. Glad to be on the show. Looking forward to a very fruitful conversation and learning a whole lot more about Mr. Burns.
All right. Mr. Burns, tell us
Hey,
about
good
yourself.
morning. Good morning. Good morning. First and foremost, thank you, Mr. Irwin, for allowing me to come out this morning to speak to you all. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much. Well, tell you a little bit about myself. I live in Savannah. Been out in Savannah for 21 years. Uh, Educated at the St. John's University, New York, Bachelor of Science in Paralegal Studies. Um, been Did some things. I worked at the Savannah Youth Detention Center out here in Savannah for 3 years as a juvenile correction officer. I also, prior to that, I worked as a substitute teacher for a few years at the Renton Middle School, and also there was an after school program that I participated in. I became program manager at the Lutheran Services of Georgia, which we had an after school program, provided hot meals and things for the kids, and tutorial programs as well. Then from there, I got to the sheriff office after I left the Savannah Youth Detention Center. And at the sheriff office, I am a retired deputy sheriff, advanced retired deputy sheriff. Um, I worked the jail throughout my tenure at the sheriff office. I worked transport. I worked court services. I worked lobby and control, and I worked street operations. So I'm very familiar with the sheriff office operations.
All right. Well, that's good to know. Now, the big question is, what made you want to aspire to be the sheriff of Chatham County?
Well, the main thing is I'm very passionate about making our community, in which we all love, Chatham County, safer. And it's just not just that I'm just looking to run for sheriff, just to run for sheriff, but also I know that the people in Chatham County, they want more and they deserve more. I'm not about just enforcing the law. I'm about building very important relationships and fostering very some good trust within the community, because as we know nationwide, law enforcement is lacking the trust by the very people that they serve. So I want to, really want to get that trust, from the people, that they can trust their sheriff office, just about being transparent. That's what it's about.
Mr. Burns, if I can jump in there a minute. So I've heard those words. So how would you put those words in action? How would you actually do it? What's the platform?
Well, the platform would just basically be first and foremost, the sheriff office doesn't belong to no one individual. The sheriff
Mm-hmm.
office belonged to you, Miss Mobley. It belonged to you, Mr. Irwin. 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 It belonged to you, Mr. Irwin.
Did you freeze on us?
I think so.
Okay, hello everybody.
So
Can you guys hear me?
you
See me?
froze you froze on us. So whatever you were saying, it looked like it was good stuff, but we didn't hear you.
I
Can you
can't. I
freeze
can.
it?
Okay. I know
Your
we was freezing up a
connection.
little bit. You blacked out a little bit. I'm
Is it
sorry.
a way that you can strengthen your connection? Because you were gone and we were both here. So I think it's your connection.
Okay, I'm thinking I'm in a good spot.
I mean,
can you all see me and see me? Can you hear me?
We can see you, but we can't hear you. It's like you're freezing.
You can't hear me?
we can now, but you
I'm
keep going in and out though. If you can move closer to your router or something, that would probably be great. Like, I don't know.
okay. Just trying to move in just a little bit here. Is that a
It's
little
okay.
better?
It's you're fine right now, but I just don't know if it's going to happen again. But go ahead. We didn't hear anything, so start from the beginning.
Oh, okay. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
So I just basically said, what does your platform look like? What does restoring the trust, creating those platforms of community that understand that the office works for the community and not the other way around.
Right, right. Well, my whole thing is this, it's not about, the sheriff office is not about the sheriff serving himself. It's about getting out and working with the community. It's about, hey, going in some neighborhoods. While I was campaigning, I went out to a park. I can't even recall the park, but it's a little park, but it's right next to Hudson Hill area right there. It's a little park. I forgot the name of the park.
Is it Baker Park? Is it across from
Yes,
Hudson
ma'am.
Hill?
That's what it was.
So that's the West Savannah
Yes,
Park.
ma'am. And I went over.
Park.
Yes, ma'am. So I went over there, and there was a bunch of people just sitting there, just people. They say, you know what? We appreciate you for just stopping by, because no one has stopped by, as a candidate to speak to us.
Mm-hmm.
And they really appreciate the fact that I took time to stop by there. And like I went to the Chatham Apartments a couple of weeks ago and stuff. It's about, those are the real people. Those are the people. Those are the people of the community that I'm concerned about. Those are the people of the community that need to have a say in who becomes sheriff. So just to get out there, it's not about picking and choosing, because Chatham County is a large community. So it's about getting out there, reaching out to people, reaching out to the people, reaching out to the young, reaching out to the older people, reaching out to people who have concerns. And there's a lot of concerns out there. And that's why I'm out there. I'm accessible. You can contact me. You can call me. You can email me. I'm very accessible. So it's about making community, encouraging people to come out to see you. And it's about going on, knocking on doors. It's about shaking hands and let people know, hey, listen, I'm here. That's what it's about. It's not just about enforcing the law, it's about building that bond within the people of the community, and also trying to regain their trust, because so much had went on. I don't have to tell you how much had went on in law enforcement across the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one thing we want to reiterate here, just for a second, so that everyone knows, this is not a campaigning issue this morning. We are just talking, trying to get the information out so people can have a real we level the playing field so that everybody can understand who they're voting for and what they're voting for. This is not a campaign show this morning. We're just talking to and getting out and bringing out the issues. All right, Mr. Tavi.
Right.
Go ahead.
All right. So, Mr. Burns, I guess I noticed that. Can you just tell me a little bit about just your background? I know you said it earlier, but can you kind of slow it down, because you said a lot. So I noticed you said you were in a lot of different departments. Was it a reason you moved around so much? Were you just I'm trying to understand why so many different?
Well, no. What happened was, if you're referring to me being at the sheriff office, my whole thing is, when I went to the sheriff office, I want to be a well-rounded deputy. And I think if one is working at the sheriff office as a deputy, you should know the jail. Primarily, you should know the jail. You should know court services. You should know street operations. You should know how to transport inmates to and from, and you should know how to work within the jail as, lobby, central, and control. Street operations, which is the serving of what we did was serve civil papers. So yeah, those are the reasons why I moved around a lot. And yes, I'm a retired advanced deputy corporal.
Okay. What's the corporal part about it?
The corporal part about it was that I retired, and then once you retired, they, promote you up to the next level. So it was corporal.
Okay.
That's what I retired as.
Okay. All right. Impressive. All right.
Thank you.
So again, this is your platform. This is your opportunity to speak to the people and let them know why they need to elect you. Obviously your wife and your children know you, but the people don't know you, and you have to really convince them that you are the right person. So what is it that you really want the people to know about you to stand out, that the reason why they can trust you now?
Well, the thing is about me is that I'm transparent. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to know. And it's about integrity, and it's about being accountable. And also on top of that, responsible. So for me, just working at the sheriff office, as long as I had work at the sheriff office, the biggest part was meeting people, working with people, and helping people that needed to be helped. And the big thing about the sheriff office right now is that we have a large influx. Chatham County, Georgia, the state of Georgia itself is ranked dead last when it comes down to handling and dealing with the mentally ill people. And right now, there's a lot of mentally ill people that's in jail that really shouldn't be in jail. They're just in jail like a bunch of cattle. They're not getting the necessary treatment that they need. I want people to understand that we need to do better as far as, the sheriff office need to do better than just having, a lot of the mentally ill people in the jail who's not getting the proper treatment that they deserve. Also, the hardest part about the whole thing is that you have to have someone that wants to do the job. There's a lot of organizations out there that handles the mentally ill people out there. But you have to reach out to them. You have to be, proactive, and that's me. I'm hands-on, I'm proactive. If I see that there's something that needs to be done, I'm going to do that. And, staffing. I mean, we can talk all day long about that.
So let me reframe this. Let me reframe this so we can kind of have some Latif. We got a few minutes before the break. So let me do a hypothetical. You win election, day one. Yes. What are you implementing? What's your first day? What's your first day look like?
Well, first day look like is really getting on an aggressive recruitment trail. That's most important. I am nothing without having a staff. The sheriff office needs about 200 plus people right now. And it's don't forget, there's a new courthouse that's probably will be signed over to the county maybe sometime during the summer. So you're gonna need more manpower for the judges. So recruitment, you gotta recruit, and you must retain. Now there's some good you have to have some incentives. You have to, provide these men and women. Everyone can't work the jail. Everyone can't work law enforcement. So you have to provide some incentives. Chatham County is very expensive to live in now. The cost of living is high. So, you may want to look into something like subsidized housing for officers, or maybe subsidized childcare for officers. Those things you have to, and I'm not talking about increasing no one taxes. Lord knows everyone pays enough taxes as it is. But the thing is, after I audit the budget of the sheriff office, you can see where you can get some extra funding and reallocate those funding to certain subsidized programs.
Okay.
Right. Why are you saying that? As big as Chatham County is, how do you you said you were familiar with the street patrol. So how are you planning on tackling that area?
As far as patrolling the streets,
Yes.
well, my whole thing is right from the very beginning is number one is Chatham County has many. Chatham County is blessed that we have like 7 to 8 police departments, municipalities. What I would love to do is collaborate with the police chiefs, find out what's going on, what is the hot spots in their communities, and then maybe I can provide them some strong, dedicated deputies to fill in the slots, to help them out, so to speak. Maybe we can pick up, running accidents, so that way it can free them up to help others out or respond to more important calls. Or maybe we can take the calls while they're tied up. And, I just want to help them out. It's not about stepping on nobody's toes or taking over. It's about helping. We all wear the shield. We all are sworn in, to go out, serve, and protect. And I just want to have a meeting maybe once or twice a month with some of the police chiefs. We collaborate. Hey, listen, what do you need in Pooler? What do you need in Garden City? What's going on in these areas? How can I help you as the sheriff? And that's the way I'm looking at it. There's certain areas, you got the unincorporated area. You have the Chatham County Police Department is really, everybody is short. Everyone is short. So that's why I was just saying to Ms. Mobley that most important thing is for the sheriff office right now is you gotta hire aggressively, and you have to retain your officers. And the sheriff office, a lot of people come to the sheriff office and they want to patrol the streets. They want to fight crime. But and so you have to make that environment for them to do so. You have to create that environment.
Hold that thought right
Yes,
there.
sir.
We've got to go to a break, but we'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hi, I'm Katie Brewington and I'm running for Magistrate Court Judge. Magistrate Court is often called the People's Court because people represent themselves or are pro se litigants. Magistrate Court handles civil claims up to $15,000, dispossessory proceedings, pre-warrant applications, and good behavior bonds. I'm a great candidate for judge because I have the experience, compassion, and drive to get the job done. I have been a probation officer, a criminal defense attorney, a solicitor, and a municipal court judge, and I will take all of that experience to get the job done. So remember, vote Katie Brewington, May 21st, for Magistrate.
All right, we're back. Now, like you were saying about the unincorporated areas of Chatham County, there seemed to be, to my knowledge, and I may be wrong, but to my knowledge, there seemed to be a lack of coverage there. And what are your thoughts on that?
Well, once again, Mr. Irwin, there's just staff shortages that's really hurting law enforcement within Chatham County, even with all the municipalities that Chatham County has. My goal as sheriff will be to hire enough officers, trained officers, and to help Chatham County Police Department with the unincorporated areas. Because I know that they're probably like the only law enforcement agencies that's patrolling the unincorporated Chatham County areas. So, and it's very important. Everyone deserves police protection. Everyone deserves, that security. And the unincorporated areas, I don't want them to feel left out because they're taxpayers like we all are taxpayers, and they deserve better also. So I would definitely, help the CCPD in getting out there to the unincorporated areas, trying to help them out to patrol, because there's so much that goes on also in the unincorporated area. Let's just look at it. Chatham County is constantly growing. Now that you got the Meta Hyundai plant being developed in Statesboro, you got a lot of people that's moving into Chatham County. You have a lot of residential, a lot of commercial properties being developed. So a lot of people is moving into Chatham County. So also, unfortunately, what goes up is crime. So, and we got to look at the unincorporated areas, and they've been really busy with crime increase. So yeah, I definitely will be looking to help the unincorporated areas. I would like people to look out their windows or walk down the street in those unincorporated areas, and they see a unit of the sheriff office patrolling.
Well, what's the primary? How would you put this? What's the primary job of the sheriff?
Well, the primary function of the sheriff, as far as Chatham County is concerned, is to take care of the jail, make sure that the jail is ran safely and securely, and so forth. But I mean, you go to certain places, in the United States, when you dial 911, the sheriff is the only person, the only law enforcement agency that you have. So the sheriff office is also the chief law enforcement official of the county. I think because like I said, we've been very blessed that we have certain municipalities, a lot of municipalities, but the sheriff office, primarily they take care of the jail, but sheriff makes arrests also, enforce the law. He's a constitutional officer sworn in to enforce the laws. And that means run the jail and also enforce the laws. You make arrests as well, patrol. So, but my whole thing is Chatham County is growing. Like I said, my whole thing is to not only just run the jail, because the jail is in total disarray, as a lot of people know. But my goal is to also make sure that we have deputies that's out there, helping the local law enforcement agencies, such as Pooler, Savannah PD, any one of these agencies that's in Chatham County that needs help. And that's my whole thing is to get out there and help. I don't want to be a problem. I want to be part of the solution. So that's my goal.
Okay. We speak of the jail. In Chatham County Jail, there's a lot that I understand is going on. How do you prepare? Are you prepared to tackle that? How are you prepared to tackle that?
Well, I understand the jail because I've been there. I worked there. I understand what's going on in that jail. I understand what needs to be done. My first thing will be is to audit the jail. Let's see. And I know one of the primary sore areas of the jail is staffing. You have officers that's working. It used to be 12 hours. When I was at the sheriff office, it was 12 hours, just turned into 16 hours. So when you have that much of a workload on your officers, your safety automatically goes down, which it has. Your safety automatically goes down. So the primary goal for the jail is you have to get proper staffing. Staffing is going to be the key. You have to get proper staffing to work that jail efficiently. And that's my goal, to get the staffing in there and train them. I'm just not looking for anyone with a pulse. I'm looking for someone that's willing to learn, willing to work, and get the job done. But also, I'm looking to take care of those officers. There's things they need time off. I mean, I feel bad for them right today as we speak because they don't get the time that they need. They can even get called off on their day off to do 16 hours. So you're talking about an officer now may only get one day off, and that's just not a healthy thing because when you do that, you're also, you're compromising your security, your safety and security.
Okay. The medical issues in the jail. What are some of the issues there that you know of?
Well, some of the issues there at the facility is that you have when you make an arrest, you don't know what people have ingested. You don't know what kind of medications they may be on or not on. You don't know what they. So a lot of times when you get someone arrested, they do the triage thing, but then sometimes these people are, they ingested, let's say cocaine or you never know if they have a bit of fentanyl or you never know what they have. So you need to have a area or healthcare providers that's going to say, hey, listen, this individual is addicted to this. We need to, have a detox, someone here responsible to make sure that these folks are detoxing properly. Because sometimes these folks detox and they may fall into shock. They may even get into a seizure or some form, because they're going through the cold turkey prospect of it. And like I said, once again, you have organizations out there that's willing to help. I don't think that the healthcare provider at the sheriff office now, they're not efficient in what they do. Like I said, there's been 20 deaths at that jail, and a lot of those deaths are not by natural causes. Trust and believe that. Most of those deaths are by, folks not getting their medication on time or folks just being overlooked. So I would definitely, all that has to be a part of my audit because much better can be done to preserve the inmates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got another question, Ms. Natavia?
No, I was listening to him because, I am a community organizer, so I hear things in the street. And just thinking about what you said, I had someone tell me that they tell the officers that they're on opioids to avoid being arrested because no officer wants them to die on them. And I didn't understand that until now, but I guess it's serious when they're consuming some kind of crazy drug and I don't know.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about that? Because I don't really even understand. What is the officer role in that if they do encounter somebody that's high off of opioids? Don't they have some kind of devices with them now or not?
No, not really. The thing is, when you're an officer, you have to be alert. I mean, this is not, working corrections is just not a job where you say, hey, I want a paycheck. This is a job where, you have to pay attention around to your surroundings. You have to make sure that you're safe. You have to make sure that the inmates and people around you are safe. And a lot of times, like what happened is that, unfortunately, these law enforcement agencies bring people into the jail, the Chatham County Detention Center, And you don't know what these people had. You don't know if they are on drugs. You don't know if they have some type of medical ailment. You don't know, or and they may overdose on something.
Mhm.
So if that's the case, if that can be picked up, then you need to take that individual to the hospital.
Yeah,
But
but they would need that
unfortunately,
medical professional. So there's no medical professional right now that does that. Is that what you're saying? So that would
you have a triage. You get a person, a nurse,
Mhm.
she'll do the triage on you and stuff like that. But you're not seen directly by a medical physician. You're not seen by a medical doctor. You may not see that medical doctor until maybe a day or two later.
Mm.
But you're not going to see a doctor when you're coming into the facility. So, and I also think that maybe somehow certain, and I know we talk about the HIPAA laws and things like that, but I think if you're the sheriff and you are the custodian of an individual, there's certain things that you as the sheriff, as custodian, you should have some information pertaining to the individuals, so that way you'll know how to go about in treating that individual. Because like I said before, some people, if they detoxing, then you know what, I don't really want them in the jail. I want them to go to a facility, detox, and then we'll work on the other piece of their legal matters, as they detox it. But just to bring them to the jail, it's high liability. It's just high liability. And it's just a cost to the taxpayers. Taxpayers have to pay just like they pay for the mentally ill that's just sitting up in there. It's just a waste of taxpayers' money. I know the incumbent saying that, they have a hospital at the jail. It's not a hospital. The medical unit is great. If you have like some infectious disease maybe, and you want to isolate them from the general population, it's good for that. But as far as the healthcare, actually, getting out and making sure that these individuals are okay, I say send them to the hospital, and you take it from there. Now, and now, if some cases, some of these individuals may need surgery or what have you, the county may not be willing to pay for certain surgeries or what have you. Then at that point, you have to go to the judge and find out from the judge. Do you want to release this person, or how do you want to go about doing that? But right now, the healthcare provider for the jail is not being very, I should say, like inmate friendly.
So to paraphrase what you said, just to make sure I'm understanding correctly, you basically are saying that there needs to be some kind of partnership established with the medical facilities to make sure that before you guys incarcerate these individuals, that they're okay medically first and cleared medically. Is that what you're saying?
A lot of these people, right? I'm just saying this. Make sure that they're. Sometimes people get in the tussle with the police or whatever, and then they taken to the jail. So what happened is you have a nurse on standby. When they see this individual being booked into the Chatham County Jail, they'll say, "Oh, they check this individual out." They'll say, "No, we're not going to accept them. Take them to the hospital." Well, if you have an individual who's on drugs that that they hide and possibly whatever, I'll just say let them go somewhere detox, or maybe we have to reach out to someone that's going to actually do the detoxing for us. Instead of having that individual in the cell, and next thing you know, you go back to look for them, they're laying dead because they didn't get the proper treatment. The proper detoxing process wasn't there.
We have a couple minutes before the break. Do you want to just blindly talk to the audience and just tell them whatever you think is important at this point?
Yes, I just wanted to say to the people of Chatham County, I just want to say first and foremost, hey, listen, thank you. If you're out there, you're watching the podcast, thank you so much. But come April 29th, which is early voting, get out there, vote for someone that's going to be concerned about you, the people. Not someone that's interested in putting politics ahead of the people, but someone that's interested in putting, the people ahead of politics. One of the first, the foremost thing that's so bad about, the race for sheriff is that I think that, we will look at it as a popularity contest. Well, people, we played the popularity contest role for a long time, and this is what we got. You have a jail that's in total disarray, 20 deaths in that jail since 2016. Hopefully there won't be any more. You have staff member that morale is below. I mean, it's gone. The morale of the jail by the staff is gone. There's nothing being done with the as far as being proactive with the community, as far as fighting crime. And from 2020 up until this moment, there's been 78 children that have lost their lives or been hurt. And to have a sheriff that don't look at that, there's something wrong with that picture. Right now, I want you to get out there, let your voice be heard. Get out there, vote for Kevin L. Burns, the sheriff that you deserve. I'm accountable, and you can call me. You can call me and go to kevinlburns.com. You have any questions? Call me. I'm very, very accessible. I'm not a hard person to find.
We're getting ready to go to break. We'll be right back with you. And again, we want you to understand that this is not a political campaign. We're just giving out the facts and of the show of the community, so the community can get it. Information on how to be properly informed when they go to the polls. We're ready for the break now. We'll be right back to you. All right, we're back. Again, with our platform is to inform the community. You said something just a minute ago that I wasn't aware of, and that was about I think you said 38 young people have died.
Well, actually, it's 78, sir. From 2022 to present, 78 children had lost their lives or have been injured in violent crime incidents. Chatham County.
And how do you propose something to help with the youth programs and stuff of that nature to help alleviate these problems?
Yes, one of the biggest things that I think can help alleviate these problems, like I told you before, previously I was program manager for the Lutheran Services of Georgia. It was a nice after school program, and we also provided hot meals for the children after school, and helped them out, tutored them with their homework, and then we played basketball, athletic activities. And once upon a time, the sheriff office had a cadets program, which was really good, and I'll be honest with you, I talk about aggressive recruiting and retention. Many children, once they got out of the cadet program, they got out of high school and stuff, a lot of them came hired as deputies for the Chatham County Sheriff Office. We received a lot of good officers through the cadet program. But just a little bit prior to the COVID pandemic, the cadet program at the sheriff office disbanded. So I would love to bring that program back. I would love to have an after school program for the kids. And also just to have, somewhere where, parents can make sure that, they can feel safe about their children being with the sheriff office, and they have a bunch of programs and activities for for them to be a part of, instead of having them out in the streets and so forth, and getting in trouble and things like that. And I also know that I say this too because there's so much going on with social media and peer pressure, bullying in school and stuff like that. So there's a lot that we can get our hands on these children and bring them in and teach them things, constructive things. That's I think that'll be a great help. But the cadet program is something that I will love to bring back, and I will bring back new and improved, because it's something that's needed. Once again, I worked at the Savannah Youth Detention Center, so I see it. There's a lot of kids that's out there, they're crying for help. They just don't know how to go about getting help. They don't know how to go about staying out of the trouble that they should stay out of. So I would love to have a program for them, for the youth, because that's what's needed. That's what's desperately needed.
All right. Well, that's good to know. When you become sheriff,
Yes, sir.
how you say you're going to be accessible, but how are you going to make yourself accessible?
Oh, you know where I'm at. 1050 Carl Griffin Drive. I'm the sheriff. Come on, Mr. Irwin. I'll be there. And most importantly, what I would like to do as sheriff is basically get into the communities. I just don't want to be a sheriff that, I'm in office, no one sees me.
Okay.
I want to be relevant. I want to be out there. I want to see, Miss Mobley, you got a nice little barbecue going on. Hey, Sheriff Burns would like.
So you want to be Andy Griffith, sheriff.
Well,
Let me see without a gun.
I want to be around the community, and I also think that this should be like for the sheriff office. It'd be nice to have, a community board for the sheriff office. I like to hear something from the people. It's about the people. It's not my office. Even if I'm elected, it's not my office. It's your office. So if Mr. Irwin has a problem, well, Mr. Irwin, you have my number. So, call me. I'm accessible. I have a website.
I mean, of course you're accessible now. You're running for office. I mean, let's realistically, you're accessible now, but we've seen plenty of people disappear once they're in the office.
Yes, so do I. I can attest to that. Yes, ma'am. But no, I'm not that type of person. You call me, I have two phones. There'll be the phones for the sheriff office, and that'll be my personal phone. You know what?
So,
hey. You can
So
call
your
me.
main
You can call me. You can. Yes, ma'am.
your main objective has been about recruiting, right? And what I have seen, I served on the Savannah Cares task force, so I
Mhm.
know a little bit more about policing than a lot of people. But one of the biggest things is that a lot of the hires don't come directly from the community. How would you make sure that that recruitment is pulling from the community? And then you talk about the youth as well, where we can maybe tie, where you can tie that into pulling some of those youth as they're graduating into the force. So do you have
Well,
any ideas of that?
it's about engaging in the community. It's about having certain activities, recruitment activities. It's about bringing the children along for like a tour of what we do at the sheriff office, things like that. And also, um, adults. A lot of times adults are not familiar with what law enforcement do on a daily basis. You know, train them. I would like to also have them like I know they have like I like to give implement like a situational academy thing where you come in, you learn about a little bit what we do at the sheriff office. We give you a scenario case or whatever, whether we do a traffic stop, how we do a traffic stop, things like that, whatever the case may be. I want the community to be more in tune as to, because a lot of times people get very judgmental as to what law enforcement officers do, but at the same time, they're not fully aware as to why law enforcement do what they do. So I just kind of want to switch the role a little bit and let them get a little taste of what goes on in the lives of law enforcement officers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yes, just to get out there, like I said, make the proper connections with the community. I don't want the community to have to feel uncomfortable. If they have something, any concerns of theirs, come to me. Come to me.
So you want to humanize the position. You want to let them know I'm a human just like you. I'm the same person. I'm approachable. I'm accessible.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not trying to get in the office and hide and stuff. And no. If you have a problem,
and meet you some new powerful friends that you will hang out with instead of us.
No. My whole thing, like I said before, is about building healthy relationships. Sheriff isn't about serving some of the people, most of the time, and not all of the people all the time. Sheriff is about serving all the people all the time.
In the same way.
In the same way. No under the table.
No special important name brand people.
No under the table handshakes. No behind closed doors. Be transparent. Be transparent and be fair with people. That's the most important thing. Be fair. Be fair with people. People want to be treated fairly, and that's another thing too. With the jail. A lot of times inmates, they want to be treated fairly. They're already locked up, but they want to be treated fairly. That's all. I have no problems when I work the jail. No problems. Because it's about respect. No matter who you are, it's about respect. And that's all I want to do with the community. I want to let them feel that trust. I want them to feel that, hey, listen, I'm here. I'm here. What's going on? Talk to me. Like Mr. Irwin already know, we all know the address, 1050 Carl Griffin. If I'm not there, ring the phone. Ring the phone.
All right.
But I'm very accessible.
Well, we know where to find you.
For now.
All right, Miss Mobley.
Look, I'm 45. I've been in politics since I was 16. So I've seen a little bit of everything. And you know what? You have a really nice smile. I've seen a lot of those smiles too. So just saying.
Thank you, Miss Mobley.
Well, y'all, we got about 8 minutes left, and Mr. Burns, we're gonna give you 5 of those 8 to say what you need to say to the public. But
Mr.
remember,
Irwin, I can't get 8 of the 8. I can't get 8 of the 8.
You got about 8 minutes.
Look.
Yo, we got 8
Okay.
minutes. We got 8 minutes left. You got 5.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, anyway,
And you
I just
can't
wanna say-
wait, and you can't endorse yourself. Like you can't do the last part you did before. So, vote for me. I guess.
Tell us about what your platform is and all like that.
Yeah, just tell us about the candidate, and then we decide who we vote for.
Okay, well, I mean, you guys have heard it. I'm just like I said, I'm a retired advanced sheriff deputy, Chatham County. I'm just looking to, make Chatham County safe again by protecting and defending Chatham County. Looking to hire some great officers. With the Chatham County at this time, sheriff office looking for about 200 plus good officers, well-trained officers. Also, looking to change the policy, the mental health policies of the jail. It's just a waste of taxpayers' hard-earned dollars to house the mentally ill at the jail. I'll be much proactive in reaching out to other agencies. You have the Savannah Act, you have the Chatham County Act, you have Filling the Gap Incorporated. So those are other areas that I would love to look into and reach out to, and also just reorganize the jail. It's terrible. I mean, we all have loved ones, and and sometimes they take a turn for the bad, but at the end of the day, they still are loved ones, and they deserve to be treated humanely in jail, as well. And most importantly, it's just that to get out there and build trust amongst the community. That's the most important thing. If you can't trust the person who's running for sheriff, then you need not to vote for that individual. So I tell people all the time, my platform is simple. Read about it and be about it. Make your best, educational, selection. So my whole thing is to get out, serve you, the people. Thank you.
He didn't even take 5 minutes. You still had a couple minutes.
He got how many?
Oh, you want me to do some more? I can do some more now.
He ain't got but 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Well, I don't have much to add to him. I mean, you have been a breath of fresh air, Mr. Burns. You definitely a candidate that I would want to support just by what you said. I don't really have anything to, say if what you're saying you would stand on, other than your word. And I appreciate you being able to convey that to us as many times as you did today. And just basically, it sounded like you were saying you want to be a sheriff for the people. And, you're going to remain that sheriff for the people. If the people put you in, then you're going to be that people sheriff that everybody has probably always wanted and never had. So I heard you, that resonated really well. And also, just understanding that there is importance of recruitment, and understanding the people that you recruit are very important when you're recruiting directly out of the community. That makes for better officers. And that's all I have to add.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Ms. Mobley. Thank you.
Mr. Burns, it has been a pleasure to have you on the show this morning. We like she said, it's a breath of fresh air. We have found out some things that we didn't know. And that's why we have the show, so that we can be able to inform the public and the community of what it is that they don't know, and let them make an informed decision.
Yes, sir.
Because sometimes we take people for granted, and think, well, they know this, and they don't know it. And that's why we have the vulnerable community, and that's why we talk to different individuals. Next week, we will have the sheriff on and put him on the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
So
Thank
we
you
look
for the
forward to
information.
everyone being with us next week. This is the vulnerable community, downtown Savannah, Georgia, in Chatham County. We will be with you next week, 10 o'clock on next Tuesday. So we look forward to y'all being with us. And until then, everyone be blessed. And we'll talk to y'all again next Tuesday. Bye now.
Bye.
I like that.